If we talk about AI now,
I think we are all waking up every morning and believe that we have missed something just because this
yeah,
moves
absolutely.
so fast. We are using image generation for our creative process. It's just for us to be inspired by it, but we're not showing AI generated content to the client or even to Amazon.
But it is not efficient enough today. Have you seen something different since Rufus is online?
Yeah, I have. So that's actually a quite recent topic. You know data dive, right?
Yeah.
What we're seeing is that the effect data dives changes on the search and optimization are not really kicking in.
With DSP, you can do ads outside of Amazon, if I get it right.
Right. Every one of these are offering their slot. It's like a real-time bidding. And then you can buy these advertising slots and have your ad running there.
And I heard that there is a minimum ad spend to be eligible for DSP. How does it work? Hi everyone, welcome on Amazon Expert Monday. Every Monday we interview Amazon expert who share some tips, some nuggets. And today we are with Alexander from Marketing Partner in Germany. Alexander, you are in the Amazon ad industry since a lot of time. We'll discuss about Amazon ad and a lot of stuff, AI, etc. But first of all, how are you?
Doing great, Nasuf. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. So you started this agency a few years ago. Were you selling on Amazon before, or you just started in the consultancy part?
So you remember this whole COVID crisis? I think we all do. So this is basically the transition of being first starting in an offline retail store. So for the offline retail store, we started creating an online shop and started to bring in digital tools for the sales floor. It was a multi-label textile store.
Mm-hmm.
And then the COVID started, and then I was visiting my now wife in Madrid. And then I received calls from friends of mine who were wondering what they should do with their inventory. Just because all of their retail partners didn't want to buy other inventory and they were producing. And so I said, there's no worries, we would solve it. We will just sell it online. And so this is how we basically got into Amazon and this whole ecosystem.
Okay. Back then, I guess Amazon ads was quite different from today, right?
Yeah. Although the tactics we used back then still work today. So that's basically the good thing. We just have more tools to assess whether or not they're effective.
Okay. So today you are managing almost 40 brands, 30 to 40 brands, some of them in white label for agencies. Do you see a common mistake people make regarding PPC?
So the thing we see a lot is that PPC is still being treated as a silo. So PPC as well as the holistic setup is treated as two different silos. And the issue is that we see that the core of developing both strategies should come from the same point. So that you say, okay, you have a market analysis, you look at the customers, you look at your competition, and you understand what are the purchasing barriers and purchasing motivators, basically. And from there, you extrapolate into the listing, create the listing according to or speaking to the ideal customers, and then using this information to also go out in PPC and obviously tracking the performance of the keywords you're targeting.
Okay.
So that's the most common we see, and the where we see also the biggest lever that if you look at both together, listing setup, visuals, creative assets, together with the PPC, then you not only do a much better job in improving your KPIs, but also ranking wise, right? I mean, Amazon rewards you by putting you on a higher spot.
Okay. And you're focusing on PPC, not on the creative part, like creating the listing, etc. What do you think is not the most important, but obviously PPC doesn't solve every problem. You have to have a nice listing, etc. How do you make sure people have the right listing with the right offer to promote with PPC?
So how we do it is that we create the listings for them. So we have a design team and a creative director who's taking care of that. And with them, we just tell them, okay, let's start with one listing and you can judge by yourself. So we have this whole process of creating it, running it through an A/B platform. So we have quick results, launching it on Amazon, A/B testing it on Amazon as well, and then having the results speak for themselves. And what we're all about is the opportunity cost, right? So if you don't spend into doing that, how much money do you lose by just not doing it and not realizing the potential you would be able to access?
Okay. And regarding PPC, like there is this common strategy everyone is talking about. You have the auto campaign, keyword harvesting to phrase campaign, exact campaign, etc. Do you have one common strategy that you use? Do you adapt this strategy? What have changed with AI, etc.? How do you work basically for a client?
Yeah, so this is the basic setup, right? You want to make sure that for every product you have like your own portfolio, and then that you are advertising or creating the setup in order to be able to have this whole mechanism fall in place, right? Having keywords harvested by auto campaigns, we call them explorative campaigns, and then honing in on them through OW campaigns. I think the path forward is for many brands different. So we like to go in usually in different phases. In the first phase, obviously, we want to generate the biggest revenue for the customer. So our first month of interacting with the customer is all about him having confirmed the decision of going with us. So we realize the quick wins. That means that we not really go into high risk by going after explorative campaigns. So in your case, it's automatic campaigns would probably get one of the lowest budgets. We are going to look at the search term results, looking at which terms converted. And then we're deciding based on the conversion data we have, whether or not we should launch other match types like sponsored brands and sponsored display, because usually we hold off on these match types until the second phase. So once the client once we have generated results through sponsored products, seeing the product rank, realizing or honing in on keywords which really convert well, that's when we go in with sponsored brand. What we don't do is using sponsored brand broad and phrase match. So this is the job of the sponsored product campaigns, just because even exact match for sponsored brand can be harmful.
Yeah, very expensive, right?
It's a match time which is headaches. Although I heard that they're working a lot on sponsored display, and now with AMC you can create your own custom audiences.
Mm-hmm.
So this is also a good idea to realize in the first month.
Okay. How do you manage that? Like, you have to target some keyword, adjust bids, etc. Do you have some specific rules? Do you use bulk files? How do you manage that with your account managers?
So we go in and go all about conversion rates. So everything we do is about conversion rate, and whatever the conversion rate tells us is the price we're able to pay for a bid. So what we do is that we go in, we assess the product's conversion rate, we look at the product margin, so reducing the COGS of the sales price, and all of other costs he wants to include in that, and then based on this margin, we calculate how much we're able to pay for a click.
Okay. So the more you convert, the more you can bid high and be visible on top of search, etc. I guess.
Right. That's basically the whole mantra behind it.
Okay. Now there is Rufus coming out. Some people are saying like Rufus will overtake on keywords. It will change everything. People will search differently. Have you seen something different since Rufus is online?
Oh yeah, I have. So that's actually quite recent topics. You know Data Dive, right?
Yeah.
And so with Data Dive, it gives you like this ranking juice. And we have is now the second test we're running now for quite a prominent product in a very competitive, it's a very high search volume niche. And what we're seeing is that the effect Data Dive's changes on the search engine optimization are not really kicking in. So we're comparing a title consisting of 5 words to a title consisting of the max characters. So it's 200 characters. And so the differences we're seeing in the A/B tests, even following the whole best practices, don't visualize in the results yet. It's still running, but so far it's just a really 50-50 split of what's doing better.
Okay.
This is all about Rufus. So what we do believe is that Rufus takes more images and more images into consideration, just by being able to understand what are these images supposed to tell the client or the customer.
And you were talking about AMC for audiences. I guess Rufus is like the same. It focuses on audiences, analyzing the images, as you said. And what do you do with AMC to target those audiences?
With AMC, you can select audiences. You can create audiences, and then you can select that. It's similar to. So we just started with it as well. So, but we can basically target everyone who has a cart abandonment, right? So
Okay.
everyone who was having our product in the cart and then chose to move forward with another product, or someone who purchased a product, I don't know, 30 days ago, for if you're talking about a food product, we want to make sure that we spend more money on these already warm customers who already tested our products than customers who are really new. So, and new to brand customers have a different cost per acquisition than we would pay for a returning customer. So this is how we are differentiating and making use of AMC.
Okay. Because AMC is quite new. I don't know much about AMC. I just know that it can be expensive if you are targeting too wide audiences and things like that. I don't have that much experience. So yeah, you're
I
focusing
think
on.
you're referring to DSP, no? I think DSP is also where you can create audiences and which can
Yeah,
really bite you.
I guess it was DSP. That's how new I am in AMC and DSP world. Yeah.
Yeah, so a DSP can be really wide. And I think in DSP, it's all about taking away from this super huge audience DSP gives you, just making sure that you take out as much as wasted before you run it, than making the experience afterwards.
Are you guys doing DSP?
Yeah, we are. And with DSP, we are, but we're very basic. I mean, we're not going after the audiences DSP is giving us. We're really strictly going after creating audiences based on the ASINs of our competitors and making sure that whatever product is most closest to ours is getting the highest budgets as well. But we don't really trust anything when it comes to money spending. We don't give any power to Amazon.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, no, this has usually kicked back.
So with DSP, you can choose your competitor ASIN and create an audience interested by this ASIN, right?
Yeah, you can do both. I mean, you can take the competitor ASINs and you can go by or target all of their customers. You can target all of the people who has viewed these ASINs and purchased, I don't know, a different ASIN. I mean, you would say, okay, you want to target all customers which has not viewed your product so far. So this is the cost per mil, and then they're being shown this DSP ad across their media channels, which they visit in the US especially. And then you can make sure that customers who have been active in this category are being exposed to your ads in the moment which is most relevant to them.
Okay.
You can also select the time frame or the window in which these people has looked at specific ASINs. So that makes it quite narrow.
And you do all of that directly with the console. There is no tool to help you with that?
No, for DSP so far, I don't think. I think Quartile might have something like this. We used Quartile for PPC in the past, but for DSP we're using different tools. We're using Helium 10 to extract all the ASINs. We can also use Keepa to do this, but then we use the console, DSP console, where you can upload these audiences and create them, and then we usually take this audience ID and then use fat fights in order to create them in blocks.
Okay, all right. And I heard that there is a minimum ad spend to be eligible for DSP. How does it work?
I'm not sure how high it is at the moment. To get an old seed, I think it used to be 50,000 monthly ad spend. So we are also using a seed from another agency and accessing their DSP seed. So they rent it out to us. But we don't have a direct seed with Amazon yet.
Okay. Yeah, I even heard like from a French agency that they lost their seed because maybe of ad spend. So it seemed to be something very privileged. It's a privilege of
wow,
high spending. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these people should get together. I mean, if an agency has a seed, they should be promoting this seed to have other agencies participate in it. Just because it's super valuable to have. It's super nice to have a seed directly with Amazon. Just because you have a direct person who's responsible for your account, and I see only benefits by doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And with DSP, you can do ads outside of Amazon, if I get it right.
Yeah.
Have
across their entire. Across Twitch, then there's also a Washington Post, which is owned by Jeff Bezos. I mean, there's different mobile sites, desktop, owned and operated. So these are the three sites they display your ads. It's a lot. It's a big catalog of various media buying sites.
Okay, and you can select on which one you want to appear and put your ads on.
Right. Every one of these are offering their slot. It's like a real time bidding, and then you can buy these advertising slots and have your ad running there.
Yeah, and I guess the buying intention is less high than in on Amazon directly. Have you tried to promote a product outside of Amazon?
You mean through Google and Meta, or what do you mean?
I mean through DSP, but in Washington Post, for example, or DSP using DSP to promote outside of Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, this is what we do. We usually don't limit the. I mean, we're not going into all the media buying platforms and it's like, okay, we don't want to be on Washington Post, we don't want to be there, we don't want to be there.
Mm.
So we're not that super granular, although we are super granular in everything else we do. But this we're not doing. We do give the most budget to the owner operator just because we see the most results there. But we're not going for a specific media buying outlet.
Okay. But you promote outside of Amazon, not only on Amazon, but outside of Amazon with DSP.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's showing everywhere, yeah.
Okay.
So the idea is basically that I wake up in the morning, read my newspapers, and see ads from a product I'm selling on Amazon. But I can also sell insurances or even services. I can use DSP to target people which would be interested in it.
Yeah. Okay. And if we talk about AI now, AI is the big topic. Like things are moving so fast. Just before recording, we were talking about this. You are testing a lot of stuff. Claude new version. We heard about Google VO for video generation and things like that. What are you working on with AI today?
So I think we are all waking up every morning and believe that we have missed something just because this moves so fast. And I'm really thankful for my team to holding my back just because I've been spending quite some time learning and exploring what AI capabilities are. We are using it for clients. Just the biggest topic for agency clients is that agencies don't really have an idea of the client's products. So we always go in and we think, okay, we can do everything better. We know how everything works. And so AI helps you to really get a good understanding, not only of your customer's brand and of their products and of their whole way they want to portray themselves, but also of their customers. So the biggest power we have through AI now is actually understanding the customer better than the brand does itself.
Okay.
And this is basically what we leverage by doing everything we do is evolving around the customer.
Okay. Have you tried image generation, video generation, or things like that?
Yeah, we are using image generation for our creative process. However, we do not show. I mean, we're not showing anything from it's just for us to be inspired by it, but we're not showing AI generated content to the client or even to Amazon.
It is not efficient enough today, image generation?
No, it is. But the standards we have are not to take the easy way, right? So we want to have images. If you create images, for example, of a product, you will always see that the writing, even if it's just the ingredients of a product, if it's cosmetics or if it's food or whatever, that the writing is messed up, especially if it's small. Yeah. And so if this is being shown to the customer, obviously it's not a good sign of us showing that we sometimes take the easy road, which is definitely not what we want to be associated with.
Okay, so you are using it for maybe concept, for getting idea about the persona, etc., and then you use your own team to create the real design.
Yeah, exactly. So that's basically the rundown. Analyzing the customer, looking at what they are looking for, creating AI images, or even having the designers create the final versions, uploading it to A/B testing platforms such as Pigfoo or Product Pinion. And then going in with the numbers, presenting it to the customer, showing him why we have done the images, how they have been done, uploading it to Amazon, sometimes having it run through an A/B test on Amazon first, and then putting it live.
Okay, got it. And talking about easy way and easy ideas, like for seller, it can looks easy to just say, I will delegate out my PPC to an AI tool that will manage everything. What do you think about AI tool that optimize everything versus rule-based automation? What is your opinion on that?
So we've had quite some history with all these automation tools. Quartile is one of them. We also had Adference. I'm not sure if Adference is the one. Adspert was another one. And it usually didn't take too long until we could really prove that these tools are harming more than they do good. And so we are all about rule-based bidding. So whatever we believe is the right move forward, which is usually data-driven. So we don't just go in and say, hey, that's what we think is best. We usually have a stack of data which proves the point we're making. We believe, or we see that this rule-based bidding is the most efficient and most targeted way forward. If you connect this then to real outputs, which you're trying to achieve by following a specific target or increasing the bid or the budget, and if you measure it or to a specific, or if you lean it to a specific goal by saying, okay, you want to rank more higher, you want to be positioned better than X competitor, you want to make sure that your visibility is the highest, because there's also sometimes a goal of a client. We can really get the data by using the various tools Amazon gives to us and proving that this is yielding the effect which was desired.
Okay. So by experience, you've tested to automate everything, and that doesn't bring that much result. Yeah.
No, actually never. So we never went to these tools and said, hey guys, can we take a shot with you? It's usually the fact that brands come to us and say, hey, we have been spending X amount on advertising. We have this tool which is costing us our leg, but it's still not bringing the results we're looking to get. And then when we're looking at a history of a specific campaign, which we believe is probably one of the top 10 campaigns, and we see the history of why the tool has done certain changes, we can't really comprehend it if we look at other data sets. So if we compare it to the organic ranking history of this product, combining to or connecting to the bidding history or the budget history, it's usually a quick decision to say, okay, we rely on human first and don't move forward with these tools.
Okay. And you based on rule, and maybe you can save some time with predefined rules, but you keep in control, and so that you master the goal.
Yeah. So we always need to look at the history of what has been changed, because even with rule-based bidding, it's a tool at the end of the day, right? And it can make mistakes. Like we also can do mistakes. Usually it's less than humans do, but it's always good to have an idea of what has happened with this specific product, of why. I mean, we always want to, if there's an effect on the organic side, we always want to trace it back to what has happened on the pay side. Is the pay side fault? And if it's fault, why have we not reacted?
Okay. And you are mentioning the fact that you have some client that came with some bad result. They are using a tool, and you take a look at the campaigns, etc. I guess you do an audit. How do you do your audit today? If you have a brand that comes out with maybe bad result, what do you look at, and how do you do your audit?
Our audit is extremely extensive, and I think it's one of the most extensive out there. And I don't know how many. Last time I measured it, how many data points we're looking at, but I think it's across 80 different data points we're looking at an account. And it's not only advertising; it's also listing related, brand related, category, market share related. So it has a lot of different nuances we're looking at. But when you look at PPC, what you can do very quickly and very easily is basically going in and looking at the spend and the sales distribution. So where is the money going and what does it yield for you? If you put most of your money to automatic campaigns, even if it yields the most results, probably this is not the best way moving forward, just because you have so limited control over it. And then also, if you're using automatic campaigns, are you setting up your automatic campaigns by targeting type? Or are you breaking them down by having one automatic campaigns for loose match, close match, substitute, and complements? Or what we are doing is we are usually going after keyword automatics, which are loose match and close match, and then we're going after product automatics, which is substitutes and complements.
You separate the two type of auto campaign?
Yeah, we have two sets of auto campaigns for the products in most cases. But yeah, I mean, the setup is roughly similar, but always different for brands. We usually see that if we would do the same setup across every brand, this doesn't always work, especially if your portfolio is like across 2,000 different SKUs. Can get quite messy.
Okay. So 80 data points during your audit. Do you have a link so people can contact you if they have they need to get an audit and understand what is going well or wrong in their store?
Yeah, sure. You can contact us through LinkedIn, either on LinkedIn as well as through email, or I can share with you the email address.
Okay, I will put that into description so that people can contact you. Alexander, thank you so much for sharing your jitsu, your Amazon jitsu, and see you maybe in the next episode.
Thank you, Nasuf. Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Talk soon. Bye-bye.